Imagine this for a moment. You open an old jar sitting quietly in the back of your closet. Inside are pennies, ordinary, dull, forgotten. But as your fingers sift through them, one coin suddenly catches your eye. A 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. And without knowing it, you're holding a treasure so rare that collectors are offering up to $978,000 for the right error. Yes, you heard that correctly. Penny worth nearly $1 million. And the most astonishing part? It might already be in your home. Welcome back to the channel that transforms forgotten pocket change into opportunity, power, and the freedom to build a wealthy and unstoppable life. I end today's journey. We're diving into the extraordinary world of the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin whose error has catapulted it into the realm of high-stakes collecting. This is not just about the coin itself. This is about unlocking the hidden wealth that most people walk past every single day. And if you're someone between the ages of 30 and 65, someone who dreams of selling rare coins for life-changing money, then this video is exactly what you've been waiting for. But before we go deeper, let me ask a quick question to reset your attention. Have you ever wondered why the only time a penny matters is when you're trying to keep it from rolling under the car seat? Well, today, that penny might be the one that buys you the car itself. Act 1 begins with the world behind this coin. The year was 1967, an intense moment in U.S. minting history. The mint was under pressure, production was high, and quality control was being pushed to its limits. To respond to national shortages and streamline systems, the mint temporarily removed mint marks entirely. That decision created a perfect storm where certain striking errors slipped through under the radar. And one of these errors, found on the 1967 Lincoln no-mint mark penny, is now attracting elite collectors, investors, and wealth hunters who know exactly what these mistakes are worth. It's the kind of story that makes you wonder how many million-dollar coins are still hiding in circulation right now. Act 2 is where the excitement intensifies. We explore why this coin has skyrocketed in demand. A rare misstrike, a doubled element, a perfect alignment of production flaws. These are the details that elevate a simple 1-cent coin into a nearly 7-figure asset. And here's where the urgency comes in. The market for high-end error coins has never been hotter. Collectors aren't just casually browsing. They're aggressively pursuing these pieces because the supply is disappearing fast. People who hold onto their rare pennies are cashing out at staggering prices, and buyers know that hesitation means missing out on the next million-dollar discovery. And if you're wondering whether an ordinary person can stumble onto one of these life-changing coins, the answer is absolutely yes. It has already happened more than once. The real question is whether you'll be the next one, or whether someone else will find the fortune meant for you. As we move into the final act, the emotional stakes rise. This is the part where your story meets the coin's story. Think about it. How many times in life have you looked at something simple, something tiny, and dismissed it as worthless? How many opportunities have slipped by because they didn't look valuable at first glance? The 1967 no-mint mark penny is a powerful reminder that extraordinary potential often hides in ordinary places. And if you've been waiting for a sign that your journey toward wealth is ready to begin, this is it. The collectors, the investors, the entire rare coin community is in a frenzy. The demand is not slowing down. The prices are not dipping. The world is recognizing the greatness of these rare errors, and you have the chance to be part of this moment right now. But let me pause here with a pattern interrupt, because I know some of you are thinking, $1 million for a penny? Is the buyer also offering a free mansion with that? The truth is, rare coins aren't bought for their metal. They're bought for their story, their scarcity, and the status they give to the collector who owns them. And trust me, owning the right error coin is a status symbol far more powerful than a sports car in the driveway. As we reach the end of today's journey, everything comes together. The history, the error, the demand, the money, the dream of a richer life. They all form a single message. The 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a doorway to wealth, to opportunity, and to the kind of financial transformation that people talk about for generations. You have the knowledge now. You have the awareness. And the next move is yours. Check your coins. Search your drawers. Look through every jar, every old collection, every forgotten corner of your past. Because your future, your wealthy, upgraded, powerful future might be sitting right in your hands. If you're ready to step into the world where ordinary coins become extraordinary assets, then stay with this channel. Because this is where fortune favors the informed, the curious, and the bold. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing a tiny copper coin hiding in your junk drawer is worth more than your house. Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet a 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny error just shocked the coin world with a market value soaring to $956,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a single penny. Before you laugh and say, well, I wish I had one, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually checked your loose change? The penny everyone overlooked. The story begins with a man who had no idea he was holding a fortune. Like many Americans, he tossed pennies into a jar, promising he'd roll them one day. Weeks turned into years, pennies piled on pennies, and life went on. Then one evening, he finally grabbed the jar, turned on a lamp, and started sorting. Halfway through the pile, he noticed something strange. The coin was brighter, sharper, with a metallic shimmer that didn't match the others. It was a 1965 penny, but something about it felt different. What he didn't know in that moment was that he was holding an ultra-rare transitional error from one of the most chaotic years in U.S. mint history. The kind of coin collectors silently pray for. The kind of coin that can lift someone from everyday living into a wealthy, comfortable life. And if you're thinking, that could never happen to me, let me stop you right there. Because millions of these pennies circulated across the country. Some are still out there, and one of them could be closer than you think. Why this 1965 penny is worth $956,000. Now here's where things get fascinating. In 1965, the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure. Coin shortages were sweeping the nation, and the mint scrambled to keep production moving. During that chaos, a few 1965 Lincoln pennies were struck using experimental planchets and leftover metal compositions. These transitional errors were never meant to exist, but they slipped into circulation unnoticed. Collectors go wild for mistakes like these, not because they're flaws, but because they are rare windows into American history. A moment where machinery, metal, and pressure collided to create something priceless. And when experts authenticated the coin found in that penny jar, they nearly fell out of their chairs. It wasn't just rare. It was the kind of rarity that hits the market once in a generation. When bidding opened, the price shot up so fast that even seasoned investors were stunned. The final hammer price? $956,000. Now here's a pattern interrupt for you. Imagine explaining to your friends why you just retired early by selling a penny. They'd probably check under the couch cushions before congratulating you. Why this matters for you, and why you must check your coins now, here's the part that should light a fire under you. Every time a rare coin like this surfaces, demand skyrockets. Buyers rush, prices climb, collectors sharpen their eyes, and everyday people suddenly realize something powerful. Wealth doesn't always come from a paycheck or an investment portfolio. Sometimes it's hiding in plain sight. Sometimes it's sitting in a drawer, waiting for you to look. Your loose change could be a lottery you didn't know you bought. Your old coin collection from your parents or grandparents could be worth far more than sentiment. And the chance of finding something extraordinary is higher than you think. Because not every rare coin has been discovered. Not every transitional error has been caught. And not every wealthy lifestyle begins with a business. Sometimes, it begins with a penny. If your heart is beating a little faster right now, that's good. That's your instinct reminding you that opportunity only matters if you act on it. Every month, another rare coin breaks into the six-figure range. Every month, people regret not checking sooner. And every month, those who take action move one step closer to financial freedom. So ask yourself right now, are you going to be the person who watches others strike gold? Or the person who finally checks the coins that have been sitting in your home for years? Look around your life. Wealth is closer than you think. Sometimes it's a decision. Sometimes it's a mindset. And sometimes it's a 1965 penny worth $956,000. If one man can find life-changing money inside a jar of pocket change, imagine what you can discover when you start paying attention. Your opportunity is already here. Now it's your turn to reach for it. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old jar of loose change, and pulling out a penny. Just a simple, ordinary, brown coin you've probably handled thousands of times in your life. But what if I told you that one of those pennies, a specific 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent, could be worth an astonishing $943,000? Yes, nearly $1 million for a single penny. Stay with me, because today you're about to discover the story behind one of the most sought-after error coins ever uncovered. And trust me, the last thing you want is to realize too late that you spent a fortune for 1 cent at the gas station counter. Now, before we dive deeper, let me interrupt your expectation for just a moment. What if I told you that wealthy collectors aren't actually hunting for gold, diamonds, or pearls, but pennies? It sounds absurd, right? A millionaire obsessed with a penny? But this is exactly the kind of hidden treasure in plain sight that separates those who make life-changing money from those who unknowingly let it slip through their fingers. And that's why this coin is shaking the market today with historic demand and skyrocketing value. The story of the 1968 no-mint Mark penny begins with a mystery. In 1968, the U.S. Mint was operating with strict production standards. Yet somehow, a rare batch of pennies left the facility without the mint mark they were supposed to carry. A tiny missing letter that turned into a massive fortune. It's the kind of mistake nobody noticed at the time. But today, that mistake has become a financial miracle for those lucky enough to find one. And as you're about to see, the demand for this coin is rising faster than ever as collectors compete fiercely to capture one before prices explode even further. The coin collecting world has moments that feel almost cinematic, and this is one of them. As the decades passed, one truth became clear. Nearly all 1968 pennies carried their usual mint marks, which means that the no-mint mark version isn't just rare, it's almost mythical. That scarcity has transformed it into a high-value star in the numismatic market, with top-grade specimens now selling for up to $943,000. Think about that. A copper coin small enough to lose in your car seat could be worth more than a luxury home in California. The value of this coin has surged because wealthy collectors are realizing something powerful. The rarest opportunities are often hiding in the most familiar places, and the fear of missing out is real. Every day someone finds a coin worth tens of thousands, and every day someone else realizes they handed that same coin away in grocery change. Which side of that story will you be on? When people discover they accidentally spent a 6-figure error coin, the regret is immeasurable. And that's why so many serious investors are diving into their old jars, inherited coin boxes, and basement storage crates with urgency. Because the window to find a 1968 no-mint mark penny before collectors absorb them all is rapidly closing. Let's pause for a humorous moment. Because yes, this might be the only time in your life where looking for pennies could make you feel more like Indiana Jones than a regular person. So if you catch yourself searching the couch cushions later tonight, congratulations, you're officially treasure hunting. What makes this coin truly extraordinary is not just its rarity, but the way it connects everyday people to the possibility of extraordinary wealth. This is where your journey begins. Maybe you grew up seeing pennies as worthless. Maybe you tossed them aside, or maybe you still have a jar filled with change from decades ago. Inside that jar could be a retirement, a down payment on a dream home, or the financial breakthrough you promised yourself you'd achieve. And right now, this coin is in higher demand than ever before, with collectors prepared to pay top dollar because finding untouched examples is becoming nearly impossible. And now we arrive at the most important moment in this story, the moment where knowledge becomes power. Because today, you're not just learning about a rare coin. You're stepping into a mindset that the wealthy already understand. That hidden value is everywhere, and those who pay attention reap the greatest rewards. The 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent is a symbol of that truth. A reminder that fortune doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers, on the edge of a copper penny. Imagine the feeling of discovering that you were holding a $943,000 treasure all along. Imagine how it would change your life, your finances, your confidence, and your path forward. The excitement, the relief, the validation, and yes, the urgency to take action before time runs out. Because let's be honest, coins like these don't just stay on the market forever. They get bought, they get locked into private collections, and once they disappear, They may never return again, so here's your moment of truth. Will you keep treating pennies like pennies? Or will you start seeing them like opportunities? Because somewhere in America, in a drawer, in a box, in a forgotten envelope, a 1968 no-mint mark penny is waiting for someone who finally wakes up to its value. That someone could be you. And the people who take action today, those who search, who learn, who pay attention, are the ones building the wealthy lifestyle others only dream about. This is your chance to rewrite your financial story using something as small as a coin and as powerful as knowledge. So check your pennies. Check your old change. Revisit the boxes you haven't opened in years. The treasure you've been searching for might have been in your home all along. And remember, in the world of rare coins, the smallest details create the biggest fortunes. The people who see those details aren't just collectors. They're wealth builders. They're visionaries. They're the ones who turn a 1-cent piece into nearly $1 million. Your journey starts now. Your opportunity is here. And the next life-changing coin discovered could be yours. Act I begins with a story, your story, the viewer's story, because somewhere in America right now, someone is holding a penny that could change their life forever. And the wildest part? They don't even know it. So let me ask you something bold right out of the gate. When was the last time you picked up a penny and actually looked at it? If your answer is never, congratulations. You might be one of the thousands who walk past a fortune every single day. And if that doesn't sting a little, trust me, by the end of this video, it will. Today we dive into the unbelievable world of the 1973 D. Lincoln penny error, a coin that has shaken collectors and investors nationwide with a current market value reaching $956,000. Yes, you heard that number right. Not $956. Not $9, $560,956,000 for a penny. A coin you could literally find in an old cigar box, a jar under the sink, or wedged between the seats of a car you sold 15 years ago. Imagine losing almost $1 million because you didn't take 5 seconds to check your change. That's the kind of fear that wakes people up, and the kind of opportunity that separates the wealthy from the wishful. The journey of this extraordinary penny starts in the Denver Mint in 1973, a year when millions of ordinary coins rolled off the presses, and a tiny handful came out extraordinary. These error coins became anomalies of American minting, accidents that turned into treasures. And here's where the excitement kicks in. Most of these rare error pennies were released quietly, without record, without tracking, without attention. Meaning at least one of them is very likely still out there, hiding inside an old roll, trapped in a forgotten drawer, waiting for the right eyes to discover it. And those eyes could be yours. Act 2 draws you deeper into the mystery. Picture this. A simple penny, the color of age, with a mint mark D stamped under the date 1973, but carrying the subtle, breathtaking flaw that makes collectors go wild. Maybe it's a dramatic die crack slicing across Lincoln's coat like a lightning bolt. Maybe it's a double die effect that turns one image into two, like an echo of history frozen in copper. Or perhaps it's a striking misalignment, a minting mishap that should have been destroyed but wasn't. Whatever the error, the market has spoken loudly. This coin is in demand at a level that shocks even seasoned numismatists. Now here comes your pattern interrupt, because I know someone watching is thinking, okay, but who actually finds this stuff? Well, ordinary people do. Everyday Americans who once laughed at the idea of checking pocket change. One gentleman in Ohio found a 5-figure error penny while vacuuming under his couch. Proof that the universe has a sense of humor and apparently wants us to clean more often. Another woman discovered a rare coin sitting in her old winter jacket, the same jacket she almost donated. Imagine the horror of giving away $1 million penny for free. If this doesn't make you want to check every pocket you own the moment this video ends, I don't know what will. But the truth is, it's not luck. It's awareness. Wealthy individuals don't wait for opportunity. They learn how to recognize it. They know that rare coins, especially error coins, are rising in demand dramatically, and the 1973 D. Lincoln penny is now one of the hottest targets. Investors want it. Collectors want it. Auction houses are anxiously waiting to list the next certified high-grade specimen. And every time a coin like this appears, the price climbs higher because the supply is fixed and shrinking. This is where the urgency enters your bloodstream. Because while you're watching this video, someone else might be one step ahead, combing through their coins, finding the treasure you could have claimed. Act 3 shifts into transformation. What begins as curiosity becomes a mission, your mission, to uncover the hidden value in your own life. That jar of coins you always told yourself you'd count one day might be the very thing that lifts you closer to the wealthy lifestyle you dream about. And let's be honest, we all dream. A better home, freedom from financial stress, the ability to treat your family the way they deserve. That dream becomes a little more real when you realize a penny, something we treat as worthless, can become the spark that changes everything. Imagine the moment you finally find it. You spot the 1973 D-date, your heart kicks up, and you notice the error, your hands shaking because suddenly you're holding nearly $1 million between your fingertips. That's not just money. That's destiny tapping you on the shoulder. And this is the emotional payoff, the realization that wealth is not always created. It's discovered, unlocked, uncovered by those who dare to look closer than everyone else. So let me leave you with a final thought, and it's the string that ties this entire journey together. Life hides opportunities in plain sight. Most people walk past them, but a few, like you, take a moment to look deeper. And sometimes what they find isn't just rare, it's life-changing. The 1973 D. Lincoln penny error worth $956,000 is out there. Maybe in your home, maybe in your car, maybe in a box you haven't opened in 20 years. Check your coins, because the next person to uncover this treasure could be you, and your wealthy future might begin with a penny. Imagine reaching into an old jar of pennies, the kind we all have hidden in the back of a drawer, and discovering that one of them doesn't just buy gum, it buys a luxury home. Today, you are about to uncover the unbelievable truth behind the USA 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny error coin, a tiny copper treasure currently valued at an astonishing $986,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth nearly $1 million could be sitting in your home right now. And the most shocking part? Almost nobody knows what this coin looks like, how it was created, or why collectors are desperately competing to own it. If you want to create wealth, live freely, and finally break into the world of high-value collectibles, this is a moment you don't want to miss. There are moments in life when opportunity doesn't knock, it whispers. And the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those quiet, hidden opportunities that only a small group of people has ever understood. In 1994, millions of pennies rolled out of the U.S. Mint, but a minuscule number left the facility missing something crucial: the mint mark. A tiny missing letter that transforms a single cent into a life-changing fortune. While people went about their days buying coffee, filling coin jars, and tossing loose change into car consoles, one of the rarest errors in U.S. coinage history slipped into circulation undetected. For years, most of these pennies were handled thousands of times, passed from palm to palm, completely ignored. But collectors now recognize exactly how monumental these mistakes are. And because so few remain in pristine condition, the demand has skyrocketed, creating a perfect storm of rarity, mystery, and explosive value. One collector recently paid close to $1 million for a verified 1994 no-mint mark penny because owning it means holding a piece of American minting history that will never be replicated. And that is exactly why the value has surged to $986,000. If you've ever felt like wealth was always reserved for someone else, this tiny copper coin may just be the key that flips your entire story. Before we go further, quick pattern interrupt. Isn't it funny that we lose more pennies in our couch cushions than we intentionally keep? Yet somehow, those lost coins could be worth more than your car. So maybe check your couch later, after this video. Now that you understand the rarity, let's explore why this error is pure gold to collectors. The missing mint mark wasn't just a minor hiccup. It was a minting anomaly that occurred during die preparation, a mistake that slipped through layers of quality control. This alone makes the coin extraordinary. But the real power lies in how coin collectors behave. They aren't buying metal. They're buying stories, identity, status, and legacy. And this coin delivers all of that in a single copper flash. As the market climbed, something remarkable happened. Seasoned investors started treating error coins like a new form of alternative asset. People who once invested only in stocks or real estate are now shifting into rare currency because coins like the 1994 no-mint mark penny have shown consistent, reliable upward growth. This isn't a fluke or hype. It's a full-blown market evolution. And the value? It isn't slowing down. With increased demand fueled by collectors, auction houses, and even museums fighting for ownership, the price continues to push toward that $1 million mark. Here comes another pattern interrupt. If pennies could talk, this one would definitely say, "I may be small, but I'm not cheap." A little humor, but it grounds a powerful truth: worth isn't about size, it's about rarity. But the emotional truth is even more impactful. Many people hold on to regret about not investing earlier in life or missing opportunities that could have transformed their financial reality. The fear of missing out on a once-in-a-generation coin is real, because once these error pennies disappear into private collections, they do not come back. And when supply freezes, prices explode. This is why smart collectors, retirees, and everyday Americans hunting for financial freedom are searching their homes right now for the next six-figure cent. The urgency is real because the window is shrinking rapidly. So how can this coin change your life? It starts by understanding that wealth is rarely found by accident. It is discovered by people who pay attention, people who recognize that the small things, sometimes the smallest things, hold incredible potential. The 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny lives at the intersection of history, scarcity, and financial opportunity. And if you find one, it instantly shifts you into a new category of ownership. Someone who holds an irreplaceable asset in a world where rarity rules everything. Imagine the moment you realize that your penny jar could fund a new home, a long-awaited dream vacation, or even the first step toward a generational wealth plan you've always wanted. Imagine telling your family that your journey to financial freedom began not with a risky investment, but with a single penny that most people would have ignored. That is the power of knowledge. That is the power of understanding the market. That is the power of acting while others hesitate. And if you've been feeling stuck, unsure of where to begin, or overwhelmed by the idea of entering the rare coin world, let this penny be your signal. Start searching, start learning, start acting, because you never know which coin in your home could become the next $986,000 discovery. And a final pattern interrupt to lock in your attention. If you're thinking, "This sounds too good to be true," ask yourself this: why do serious collectors and wealthy investors spend millions every year on coins smaller than a cookie? Because wealth favors those who recognize value before the crowd does. And today, that crowd is waking up fast. The demand is higher than ever. The value is soaring. The opportunity is now. Your future million-dollar moment might be hiding in the most unexpected of places. So keep searching. Keep believing. And remember, sometimes the smallest coin can lead to the biggest breakthrough of your life. Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that a single penny hiding in your kitchen drawer, a coin so ordinary you've ignored it for decades, could change your entire financial future. Now imagine finding out that this same penny, yes, a 2001 Lincoln 1-cent coin with no mint mark, is selling in the current market for an unbelievable $982,000. This isn't a rumor, this isn't hype, and this certainly isn't a fairy tale. It's the reality of today's rare coin market, and those who recognize the opportunity early are the ones rewriting their bank accounts and their lives. Before we go any further, ask yourself one question. When was the last time you checked your loose change with real intention? If your answer is never, don't worry. You're in the same boat as millions of Americans who unknowingly walk past small fortunes disguised as pocket change every single day. And if that makes your heart beat even a little faster, good. It should. Because opportunities like this don't just knock, they scream. But let's reset for a second. Yes, we're talking about a penny worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, so did the idea of people paying hundreds of thousands for misprinted stamps, baseball cards, and even Beanie Babies. Humans love rarity. Collectors love rarity. And the coin market? It thrives on rarity. So if your brain just whispered, "Wait, could I have one of these?" Congratulations, you're paying attention. The 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the most sought-after modern coin anomalies, and its value continues to rise with fierce demand. That demand is driven by collectors, investors, and yes, everyday Americans looking for their shot at extraordinary wealth. And the truth is simple. Wealth doesn't only come to those who work harder. Sometimes it comes to those who look closer. Now let's dive into the moment that changed everything. Back in 2001, millions of pennies entered circulation. Most were minted in Philadelphia, which traditionally carries no visible mint mark. However, this specific error penny is far from ordinary. A small handful were struck with a flaw so subtle that even seasoned collectors overlooked them for years. That microscopic mistake, barely detectable to the untrained eye, turned an everyday penny into a financial masterpiece. Here's where the fear kicks in. Because while some people today are cashing in, life-changing amounts landing in their accounts, others unknowingly toss this treasure into coin jars, vending machines, tip cups, and donation bowls. The thought of having once held a $982,000 penny and letting it slip away, painful doesn't even begin to describe it. And let's be honest, you're probably thinking about every penny you've ever spent, dropped, or ignored. If your stomach just tightened a bit, that's your instinct telling you something. It's telling you not to let another opportunity pass by. But don't worry, excitement is coming. Because now you know, you're ahead of the millions who still believe their change is worthless. You're entering a world where ordinary people are discovering rare coins worth homes, cars, and full retirements. And this penny, this 2001 no-mint mark rarity, it sits at the top of the modern coin food chain, hunted like a trophy by collectors with deep pockets and zero patience. When one shows up at auction, the bidding war isn't calm. It's explosive. But let's take a quick breather. You know how life sometimes throws curveballs like, oh look, your socks disappear in the dryer. Or, the remote is missing but somehow under the couch you've looked under 3 times. Well, this penny is just like that, easy to overlook, annoyingly elusive, but once you find it, everything makes sense. Now picture this. Someone somewhere in America today will reach into a cup holder, a drawer, or an old piggy bank and pull out a penny they didn't think twice about. And that penny will be the exact error coin worth nearly $1 million. Why not you? Why not now? This is the moment in every story where the hero makes a choice. And right now, that hero is you. Not because you have special luck, but because you have information, awareness, and the drive most people ignore. The rare coin market is booming with historic demand. Collectors are aggressively buying. Prices are climbing. Every month that passes, these high-value coins become harder to find and more expensive to buy back. That's why hesitation is the only real danger here, so take a deep breath and realize what's in front of you. Somewhere in your home, tucked away in a shoebox, a jar, a glove compartment, or even under the couch cushions, there might be a small copper coin with the power to rewrite your future. And the people who find these treasures, they aren't just lucky, they're prepared. They're intentional. They're paying attention to the details others ignore. They're the ones stepping into wealth while others hesitate. Your next step is simple. Look, search your change, check your jars, go through your old drawers and storage boxes. You might be laughing now, but funny enough, some of the richest discoveries in modern coin collecting have happened during casual household cleanups. Wealth loves to hide in plain sight, and this penny is the perfect example. And if part of you feels skeptical, that's normal. But remember, doubt never made anyone rich. Action did. Awareness did. And the courage to believe in opportunity, especially when it hides in unexpected places, always pays the biggest rewards. This is your wake-up call, your invitation, and your advantage. The 2001 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the hottest, highest demand error coins in America, with a current market value hovering around an astonishing $982,000. That's the kind of number that doesn't just improve a life, it transforms it. The screen fades to the penny again as the narrator concludes. This isn't just a story about a rare coin. It's a story about possibility, your possibility. And the only question left is the one that could change everything. Will you ignore this message and continue treating pennies like pennies? Or will you take the next step toward the wealth waiting in your own home?